The hand that rocks the cradle runs the nation, dictates the destiny of the nation. Recently, I've had an epiphany, and it's a harsh one. It's like in the Matrix. I'm starting to see the numbers. I'm starting to see the true reality and how deep and dark and how far we are down this rabbit hole and how unlikely it is for us to change it. What happens at the home shows up in society. Since individuals in our Western culture aren't getting taught the right values at home, it's showing up in our society, and it's ruining our society. And you're seeing it at every level. This is how far we are down this rabbit hole. And this is 3:00 in the morning. The last hour, I've just been contemplating and going through different thoughts and pondering our position in the West, pondering different things, pondering how far and how bad families are in our culture. Guys, families are the backbone of your society. If you don't have good family units, if you don't have intact family units, you don't have a society. All you have is some kind of civilized chaos. That's all you have. I was watching the Colorado game, and I just gotta talk about this because nobody is understanding it or nobody is seeing it for what it is. But I'm going to tell you guys exactly what's wrong with sports right now and why the quality of the game, the quality of the sports are so crap and so mediocre and low quality. Some of it is because of the artificial game that they're trying to make it with the higher ups, trying to make it where you can score a significant amount of points because they want people to be excited to want to watch it. This stems from baseball. You notice that a lot more home runs are happening. That's not by mistake. You notice that these NFL and these college football games are scoring more points more than ever. That's not by mistake. They're calling the game and ruling the game in a way to make it more entertaining, to gain more revenue and to gain more of an audience. And they're using celebrities to promote the game. They're using all different types of things to promote the game. But the hidden thing as to why sports is horrible right now is due to this one thing. And it's bigger than you would expect. It's bigger. It's an underrated thing that you've heard before that is more of a problem than ever at the moment. So I was watching a recent interview, and at this time, at the time I'm recording this video, I just finished watching the Colorado Stanford game. And Colorado, that was one of the most worst performances in a half I've ever seen in my life. Like, that was complete and utter debacle. And so I'm seeing his demeanor on the sideline. And so After the game, I'm anxious to see his attitude in the interview, post game interview. So I'm watching the post game interview, and I just see a man that is just grasping for answers, trying to figure out why his players aren't following his directions, trying to figure out how you can practice something until the wheels fall off. You can do repetitive practices, repetitive actions, and it not seep through the players' minds. I mean, penalties right now are at an all-time high in sports. And the reason why Deion Sanders is grasping at straws, at frustration, trying to get his players to follow his lead, the reason why you see players and penalties look so undisciplined nowadays is because we've constructed a culture where single mother raised men are now growing up and being filtered and being this behavior is being displayed. The chickens are coming home to roost now. These single mother raised men are growing up and they're in the sports now. And the reason why they lack discipline is because a mother cannot raise a son. They live in two completely different worlds. She raises the son to be emotional. So he's not going to be coachable because it doesn't feel good to be coachable. He's not going to be disciplined because it doesn't feel good to be disciplined. His whole life, he's been able to do what he wants because of his single mother not disciplining him. He didn't have a father figure to instill these things inside of him. Now, there's always going to be exceptions to the rules, but guys, I don't give a fuck about the goddamn exception to the rule. For most people, you're going to need a two-parent household in order to achieve a balanced human being that gets the emotional side, the empathetic side from the woman, and gets the discipline and order from the male. This is why your quality of entertainment, your quality of work when it comes out to the economy, when it comes to getting customer service, when it comes to watching sports, everything right now that you're seeing, the kids in their teens, in their early 20s right now, mid 20s, these are the single mother raised people that are affecting our society. Do you guys now see how big of a problem it is for men and for children to be raised by single mother households? The rabbit hole just keeps getting further and further, right? And I'm not going to go into it deep right now, but we're in a society right now where we not only breed single mother raised children that are undisciplined and uncoachable and feelings worth and all emotional field and mental health. Not only are we constructing that, but we're constructing a culture, and we have a societal culture that breeds narcissism. So not only do we have a culture where single mother raised men are becoming a huge problem in positions of power, in positions of the hierarchy, you now have the aspect of individualism, the aspect of narcissism, self-centered. So not only do you have a person that is undisciplined and full of emotions, but they're also self-centered. This is the collection, the avalanche coming home, coming downhill in our society that you're trying to defeat that you're trying to deal with, guys, it's done. You can't, by the time an individual gets 18 years older, he's already, people say you know, the brain develops at 25. Guys, your habits and your thought processes, by the time you are 18 years old, 16, 17, 18 years old, especially 18, your perception of the world has already been formed. This is why you have these younger women that are strung out on feminism and sexual liberation. Guys, they're too far gone. What can you do with that? You can't change a person's mind at 20 years old and try to convince them that they're going down the wrong path. At that point, they're going to have to feel the effects of not going down the wrong path. Since you didn't get to them when they were 8 years old, when they were 12 years old, you're trying to come in and do the work of a parent. Right? And that's too much fucking work, and you don't have time to do that. And so it's an exercise in futility. And that's another reason why you guys are struggling with dating, because you're trying to change a person that cannot be changed. This is the harsh reality about our society today that nobody wants to talk about, nobody wants to break down, nobody wants to examine, and ultimately, not enough people are screaming at the moon, screaming at the top of their lungs to try to fix it. Luckily for you, the individual watching this video to the end, that has a long enough attention span to last to the end of this video to hear what I'm about to say. We're in rare numbers, you and I. So when you see a woman that's 21 years old, strung out on feminism, your best form of action is to just chalk it up and move on. When you see a male that's overly emotional, sagging in his pants, undisciplined, lazy at 21 years old, just chalk your hands up and keep it pushing. You can't do anything with that individual. And the reality is, those people are in larger numbers than we are. So kudos to you for sticking with this video and listening to it to the end, because now you have an awareness about how the world works and how you're going to have to function within it. Because nobody else is going to tell you this information. Nobody else is going to sit down and tell you. Nobody else cares. Their liars are too busy to see this information. So I appreciate you guys watching to the end. You guys on the way out, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace.